news coming in from National Insurance Corporation, one of the companies that's listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And we'll be later on talking about what they have, of course, been sharing with the shareholders there concerning the bonus that was approved, of course, by the boarders. And this bonus issue of over 7.07 million shares, that was, of course, one of the things that they discussed, and actually the main issue after the sounding of the bell. And these issues were availed to shareholders. We'll be talking about that a little more, and also we'll talk about the stocks as they performed over the weekend, and that is during, of course, the close of Friday. My name is Anthony once again. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you're watching us. You can follow us on our social media platforms. If you have something, a comment that you would want to leave us, go to our Twitter handle at Smart24 and you can leave us a comment. You can also follow the hashtag, that is hashtag financial markets. Also, you can visit our live stream on YouTube at Smart24 TV channel. There definitely will be able to get feedback from you in the comment section, and if any questions that perhaps you would want to air out, on certain aspects. And National Insurance Corporation definitely is one of the stock markets that has lasted some time, since 2010, the 15th of March, when it was actually listed on the exchange after the initial public offer. Remember, the initial public offer simply means the event or the period of time when a company for the very first time portrays interest in the exchange, in listing its shares on the exchange, and definitely the public responds with coming on board. Hey, we want to invest in this company. And the company definitely, after going through scrutiny and the Capital Markets Authority and other regulators, the Uganda Securities Exchange as well, the company issuing its prospectus, and definitely after all these scrutinies have been undergone by the company, it will come and offer its shares to the public in what is called the initial public offer. And National Insurance Corporation did that way back in 2010, meaning it has been listed on the exchange for the last 12 years. And definitely attending this event were some of the very people who actually were present on the day this company was initially listed on the exchange, the very first time it was listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Among them was, of course, Dr. Alan Shonugi, who is managing, of course, the chairman of the National Insurance Corporation. Also, Mr. Bayo Fayolan, who is the managing director at National Insurance Corporation, as well as we had Mr. Paul Buiso in attendance, who is the Uganda Securities Exchange Chief Executive, and Mr. Robert Baldwin, who is the CEO of Crested Capital, definitely one of the licensed brokers or brokerage firms in Uganda. Now, these, and in the company of the shareholders as well as other stakeholders like which is Housing Finance Trust Bank, have been holding this meeting the past few minutes, and they have been discussing the performance of the company, company's decision that, of course, what drove the company's decision to go for a bonus issue rather than other ways which shareholders are more used to, like the dividends and so on. And definitely we've seen different people talk about the subject, and the insurance companies' reports were also brought into air, and various people were able to listen to what the company had in terms of results and performance regarding the financial year 2021. Now, the listing of the National Insurance Corporation in 2010, on the 15th of March, the National Insurance Corporation has issued a dividend about 6 times. it has issued a bonus issues about 2 times, and this is the second time it's issuing its bonus issue. And this, of course, was according to Mr. Bayo Fayalan, who is the managing director of the company. And he mentioned that due to the various factors like influence from the regulator, given the measures, of course, they're taking to protect the company, due to the various economic challenges, of course, that are surrounding the entire nation and, of course, the world at large, including the Russia-Ukrainian war, the COVID-19, and price inflation, exchange rates, and the like that are surrounding the economic situation. Definitely the regulator has imposed some of the restrictions, like not giving out dividends. For we have not seen just this in this company, but also in other companies like the banks that, of course, were restricted by Bank of Uganda, which later on just lifted the suspension from the listed banks like Stanbic and Bank of Baroda, Uganda. So surrounding the issues surrounding this, National Insurance Corporation took a bold step and said, no, we have to give back to our shareholders, and they looked at the bonus issue as the immediate solution to this. Now, for every 1 share, the shareholder is going to be gaining 2 shares for every share they're holding in the company. And definitely this has led to quite a number of shares that are going to be floated on the exchange as well. And regarding the exchange, it increases liquidity, and definitely some activity as well on the market will be created by this. The bell was sounded at exactly 30 minutes past 9 a.m. By, of course, the chairman, Mr. Dr. Alan Shonubi, as well as in conjunction with the other board of director members, and the Uganda Security Exchange chairman, Mr. Paul Bwiso. And after the sounding of the bell, it meant that definitely these issues, these shares were actually now available to all the shareholders of National Insurance Corporation. And these shares definitely include about 7 billion, about 7 billion, 0.078 billion Ugandan shillings worth of shares, and these were issued today morning at exactly 9:30 a.m. The course informed its esteemed shareholders and the general public that a total of 707,889,859 additional ordinary shares by way of bonus issue were, of course, approved by shareholders at the company's annual general meeting that was held on 24th of June 2021. And of course, they have been approved by the Capital Markets Authority of Uganda, and the additional shares have been, of course, approved for listing on the main investment market segment on the Uganda Securities Exchange, which has just been done today. So these shares are now officially listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange main investment market segment. And definitely this means a lot for the shareholders, as they're gaining a little more from their shares there. For every single share, they're going to get 2 extra shares. And this is exactly what the bonus issue is all about. Of course, there were questions. There was interaction from several platforms with shareholders, even abroad, sending in questions, in their concerns. And one of the concerns was the fact that some people didn't understand quite well what the bonus issue was. And this, of course, came to the notice of the Uganda Security Exchange boss, Mr. Paul Bwiso, who responded very aptly there, saying that the bonus issue is simply, an issue by the company of extra shares to its shareholders. But these shares are from, of course, the returns on investment that the shareholders were able to gain from that particular financial year. So they are a kind of give back to the shareholders and increase in their shareholding capacity. For example, if you had 100 shares in National Insurance Corporation, what National Insurance Corporation is saying is, since you have 100 shares, let's give you extra half of what you have. So they give you 50 more shares. That is 50%. So they're going to give you, you have 100 shares, and then they give you 50 extra shares. That is like half of the value of your shares. And this is exactly what the bonus issue is all about. And these issues are given to you free of charge, without any charge at all. Now, interestingly, this is one way to compensate for a dividend in case it's not issued. And National Insurance Corporation, of course, this year did not issue a dividend. And so one way they actually responded was through this bonus issue, trying to see that they're able to give back to their shareholders, which is quite an important aspect when it comes to the financial markets in terms of the stocks. Now, all shareholders until this bonus issue will be will have to use their securities, the Securities Central Depository, credited, of course, by July 8th, 22. Following the allotment, the company's share capital structure will be as follows. This is the company's share capital structure. Now, before bonus issue, we have 10 billions divided into 2 billion ordinary. That is for about 5 Ugandan shillings each. After the bonus issue today, we are going to have 13 billion, divided into 2.6 billion ordinary shares. And of course, each ordinary share at 5 Ugandans. Now, the paid up share capital and the fully paid ordinary shares are worth 7.078 billion divided by 1.4 ordinary shares, each at 5 Ugandan shillings. And of course, now after bonus issue, we're going to now have 10.6 billion Ugandan shillings divided by 2.12 billion Ugandan, of course, billion ordinary shares, each at 5 Ugandan shillings. All shareholders entitled to receive this will have their SCD credited by the 8th of July, meaning already their SCD account credited with this issue of shares. And definitely this gives you the standing of what this has impacted on the market capitalization of National Insurance Company, with now over 13 billion worth of worth of shares, 13 billion Ugandan shillings, and these are divided into 2.6 billion ordinary shares of about 5 Ugandan shillings each. And that definitely means a lot for National Insurance Corporation, which of course has stood the test of time since its inception. By the way, National Insurance Corporation is, if not the oldest, one of the oldest insurance companies in Uganda. That was incepted, of course, in 1964. That was a time when the Nairobi Stock Exchange was just 10 years old, and the time Uganda had just achieved independence, just 2 years after. And definitely it's one of the renowned insurance companies in Uganda, and one of the most trusted as well. And looking back into the performance of National Insurance on the Uganda Securities Exchange, we are seeing that the National Insurance Corporation, as we already mentioned, was listed in 2010. And the USE, on the USE, it is the 17th most valuable stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And the market capitalization, which was 8.78 billion, which is now going up definitely because of this bonus issue, which was about 0.041% of Uganda Security Exchange equity market. Now, looking back a little bit in the prices, NIC closed last Friday. That is before Friday, that is Thursday night, at, of course, 6.2 Ugandan shillings at the Uganda Security Exchange. And the National Insurance Corporation began the year with a share price of 5.1. That's how it began the year, a price of 5.1, and has since January gained by 21.6% on that price valuation, ranking it third on the Uganda Securities Exchange in terms of year-to-date performance, meaning since the year began with the 5.1 Ugandan shillings price per share in the National Insurance Corporation stocks, 6.2. It is the third highest performing stock on the market in terms of year-to-date year-to-date performance. The National Insurance Corporation is the sixth most traded stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange as well over the past 3 months. That is from March to July. And the NIC has traded a volume of over 2 million shares valued at 12.1 million Ugandan shillings over the same period, with an average of 31,710 per session. A volume high of about 618,300 shares was achieved on April 12th for the same period. And of course, looking back, that is some of those are some of the things we've seen today. Nairobi National Insurance Company stock there. Of course, it has competitors in the market since National Insurance Corporation, of course, is an issuer, but of course, dealing in insurance and other financial services, definitely it has competition. Below some of the competitions, we have Jubilee Holdings Limited, which is also an insurance company. We have Stanbic Bank, Equity Bank, KCB, DFCU, and Centum Investment Company. And that is the National Insurance Corporation for you. They have had their bonus issue, and definitely we'll be looking into their next financial year and what they have. Notably, the chairperson of the board of directors also mentioned something that they will be issuing a rights issue probably this same year, this same year. And that is something also to look forward to. And now the bonus issue is different and the rights issue is different. But we'll learn more about that later on after the break. Also after the break, we will be looking into the stock markets as they closed last Friday evening to see who ended big and who ended small, and how what should we expect for the coming week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.